Hi students, this is Kartik Trivedi and you are watching a lecture series of Applied Thermodynamics with me. In today's topic, we are going to discuss a two-stage compression system with flash intercooler. Because in our syllabus, we have a single topic which is a compound compression with flash intercooler, with flash gas chamber and water intercooler. But to understand that, we have to divide everything over here. So we are going to take one by one. So first we are going to take a two-stage compression system with flash intercooler. And what is the function of flash intercooler, that we are going to understand over here. So here you can see that, as you know, that this is two-stage compression system, means here the compression is done in a two-part. So that means there must be a two compressor. So here the compressor 1, here the compressor 2. This is the evaporator, this is the condenser, these two are the expansion valve, and this is here which is known as flash intercooler. So this is the working as a flash intercooler. So this is the flash chamber which is known as working as a flash intercooler. So this is the flash chamber which is working as flash intercooler. Now what is the function of flash intercooler, that we are going to discuss over here. So don't worry about that. Okay. So now we have understand the circuit. Again I am going to repeat the circuit. Here you can say this is the evaporator, this is compressor 1, this is compressor 2, this is condenser, these two are the expansion valve, this is the flash chamber which is working as flash intercooler. So now we are going to say it as a flash intercooler. So this is the flash intercooler. Now here you can say that in the evaporator, the M1 mass of refrigerant entering over here, this is this vertical line is known as state. So this is state 1, this is state 2, state 3, state 4, state 5, state 5, state 6, state 5, state 7. Now what is state? State means it shows the condition of refrigerant, whether this particular state is in liquid form, whether this state is in liquid form, whether this state is in a vapor form, or whether this state in a liquid plus vapor form. So when I am talking about this state, I am talking about the condition of refrigerant, means refrigerant in which form. So state showing the form of the refrigerant, whether it is in liquid form, whether it is in vapor form, or whether in liquid plus vapor form. Okay, so state means, now you understand what does it mean by state. Okay, so now this thing is over here. Now what actually is happening over here is, from the evaporator, here you can see that the M1 mass of liquid refrigerant. So M1 mass of liquid refrigerant entering the evaporator. We know that in evaporator what is happening? Heat is absorbed, and at the state 1 we have the vapor refrigerant. Why? Because liquid refrigerant has absorbed the heat from the evaporator. So at the state 1 we are having a vapor refrigerant. So here you can see that. Now we will understand this chart one by one. So here you can see that this is the pressure enthalpy chart. So first process 7 to 1, which is evaporation. So here you can see that the M1 mass of refrigerant entering the evaporator and absorb the heat. So we know that which kind of heat it is. It will be a latent heat absorption, constant pressure, constant temperature. So this kind of horizontal line you can see it over here. So this is 7 to 1. So here from state 7, M1 mass of refrigerant, liquid refrigerant entering the evaporator, heat absorb, and at state 1 you have a vapor refrigerant. So here you can see that 7 to 1 heat absorption. So this is our evaporator. So 7 to 1 process which is shown in the pH diagram. Okay. Now from 1, you can see that from 1 the state is having a vapor form. Why? Because here you can see that is pH diagram. So this is saturated vapor line. So point 1 is one saturated vapor line. That means state 1 is in 100% which form? Vapor form. So point 1 is vapor form. Now 1 to 2, compressor 1. So 1 to 2 compression is happening. So here you can see that 1 to 2 compression is happening over here. M1 mass of refrigerant compressed over here. But you know that as the state 1 in vapor form, and now you are going to compress it. So if you compress the refrigerant which is already in vapor form, so heat will be added. So now this vapor refrigerant which is at 1 now converted into superheated vapor at point 2. So at state 2 you have a superheated vapor refrigerant. So here you can see that this is the superheated vapor refrigerant. Okay. Now before it enters to the compressor 2, what we have to do? Now at this state 2 is at the superheated form. So first we have to bring back to the vapor line. So first we have to bring this superheated vapor again to the vapor line. So what we have to do? We have to do cooling. Okay, so what we do? So from here, from state 2, which is superheated vapor, so m1 mass of refrigerant is entering over here. Now what is in flash intercooler? You can see that here the liquid refrigerant over here. This is the cold liquid refrigerant over here. Low temperature liquid refrigerant over here. This is the expansion wall, and this is, you can see that over here. This is the water level here. What we have put over one bowl over here. Why? To maintain the liquid refrigerant over here, to maintain the level of liquid refrigerant. So the function of this bowl is to maintain the level of liquid refrigerant in flash intercooler. So this is the low temperature liquid refrigerant. So what will happen when this m1 mass of superheated vapor enter into this low temperature liquid refrigerant? What will happen? So whatever the heat which is superheated vapor will have will be absorbed by the low temperature liquid refrigerant, and what will happen? So that some of the low temperature liquid refrigerant will be converted into the vapor, and through this process a superheated vapor will be converted into the vapor, because heat absorption is happening over here. So at state 3 again you will come back to the vapor form. So it is something like this. So here you can see that 2 to 3 flash intercooling, and 2 is superheated form. Again you have cooled it, and again at point 3 you come onto the saturated vapor line. Understand? Once again I repeat what I have done over here. So point 2, you have a superheated vapor. Now you will do intercooling from 2 to 3. So what will happen? This superheated vapor will come over here in flash intercooler. In flash intercooler, you already have low temperature liquid refrigerant. So this superheated vapor will enter into this low temperature liquid refrigerant, and heat transfer happen over here. So what will happen? Superheated vapor will give its heat to the low temperature liquid refrigerant, so that low temperature liquid refrigerant will evaporate, and after the process the superheated vapor will be converted into the vapor. So whatever the evaporation happening over here, or whatever the vapor will be generated, that vapor will come to the state 3. So this is how we have done intercooling, and from point 2 to 3 again this superheated vapor converted to the vapor form. Okay, so now point 3 you have a vapor state. Now again you will do the compression 3 to 4 C2, again second compression. So point 3 to 4 again compression. Okay, pressure temperature increase. So we know that we are already at point 3, we are already at vapor form, and now if you compress it further, pressure temperature increase. So at point 4 you will have a superheated form. So that's why here at point 4 you are having a superheated vapor. So now you are at over here. Now this state 4 to 5. So here you can see that m2 mass of refrigerant. Why? Because here m1 mass is entering in flash intercool. After that here m2 minus m1 liquid refrigerant evaporates. So m1 plus m2 minus m1. So after all this process, m2 refrigerant will be coming up like this. Okay, just as it is vapor, it will going to be up. So here the m2 refrigerant will be going to be up. So in compressor 1 we are m1 refrigerant, in compressor 2 we are have a m2 refrigerant. Okay, why? Because m1 refrigerant entering here, some of the liquid refrigerant, let's say m2 minus m1 liquid refrigerant will be evaporate. So total will be what? m2 minus m1 evaporate plus m1 entering. So total will be m2. So that's why m2 refrigerant is going up. Now you will understand. Okay, now 4 to 5 condensation. So 4 to 5 you can see that condensation. So here it is superheated form, then at this point it will convert it into the vapor form by cooling, and then from here it will be condensation. So 4 to 5 point will be rich region, liquid region. So it is on saturated liquid line. So 0.5 is showing the liquid region. Now after 0.5 what we have to do? We have to divert some of the liquid refrigerant to this flash intercooler. So what we will do? From m2 liquid refrigerant we will divert over here. So what will happen? So from m2 liquid refrigerant, m1 refrigerant will be going to the evaporator. So whatever the remaining will go to the flash intercooler. So we know that we are having total m2 liquid refrigerant which is coming out from the condenser. From them, m1 is going to the evaporator. So what is remaining? So m2 minus m1 remaining liquid refrigerant will go to the flash intercooler. So now you can, this is 5 to 6. 5 to 6 this is expansion valve. So here you can see that 5 to 6 expansion valve, throttling enthalpy constant over here. Now this is the over here 5 to 6. Now you can see that the sum of the M2 minus M1 is going to where? M1 minus M2 is going to the flash intercooler. So we know that here this whole thing is happening. So here the M2 minus equal refrigerant coming from the flash intercooler, and here the superheated vapor M1 is coming from here, from point 2, and the total mixture will be 0.3, and from there we will do compression. So what is happening? From 0.6 M2 minus M1 liquid refrigerant coming, from 0.2 M1 superheated vapor coming, and the result of these two will be 0.3 that we have already discussed earlier. Okay, now the M1 refrigerant will be go to the evaporator. Now this 5 to 7 process. So here you can see that 5 to 7. So this is the M1 refrigerant is coming over here. Now why there will be a 2 expansion valve? Why there is 2 expansion valve? That question will comes in your mind. Because this is working at a low pressure. So this is, we can see that this pressure is a low pressure. Okay, this pressure is intermediate pressure, and this pressure is high pressure. So this is high pressure line, this is intermediate pressure line, and this is low pressure line. So when you are coming from the condenser, you are coming from the high pressure line. So 8.5 you are having at high pressure line. And if you want to the flash intercooler, because flash intercooler is over here, this process is over here, which is working at an intermediate pressure. So first we have to reduce its pressure. So that's why one expansion valve is over here. So what will happen? Whatever the high pressure M2 minus M1 liquid refrigerant coming into over here, it reduces its pressure, and at state 6 you will have a intermediate pressure, and which is at intermediate pressure the M2 minus M1 liquid refrigerant will become over here. Same way at M2, this is over here, after condenser you are having a high pressure, and state 7 this evaporator is working at lower pressure, so there must be some expansion valve over here. So this expansion between 5 to 7 will convert high pressure condenser into the low pressure, at the high pressure condenser into a high pressure liquid refrigerant into the low pressure liquid refrigerant over here at 7. So that's why here you can see that expansion valve over here 5 to 7. So convert the high pressure system into the low pressure system. Okay, so that's why, because 4 to 5 process is always done at a high pressure level, 2 to 6 process is done at intermediate pressure level, and 7 to 1 process is done at a low pressure level. So particular process must be at a particular pressure only. That's why you will have a one expansion valve over here which convert this high pressure into intermediate pressure, and there is one expansion valve over here which convert this high pressure into the low pressure. Okay, so this is how this whole system will come, and again 7 to 1 heat absorb. So here you can see that over here. So this is the 2-stage compression system with flash intercooler. Okay, and that's why we are using here flash intercooler. Why we are using flash intercooler? So I already discussed in the last video advantage of multi-stage compression, because if you do intercooling over here, so your final compression will be at over here, so you are reducing the compressor work. So that is the advantage over here. Now let us do the enthalpy balancing. So whatever the enthalpy of refrigerant entering the flash chamber is equal to leaving the flash chamber. So whatever the enthalpy of refrigerant entering the flash chamber is equal to enthalpy of refrigerant leaving the flash chamber. So how to do that? So what is the entering point in the flash chamber? So here you can see that M2 minus M1 liquid refrigerant is coming to this flash chamber at a state what? 6. So M2 minus M1 into H6 plus whatever entering. So here this M1 refrigerant is entering from which state? From state 2. So M1 into H2 is equal to leaving. So what is leaving? So this M2 refrigerant is leaving over here at a state 3. So leaving is M2H3. Again repeat, whatever the incoming is equal to outgoing for flash intercooler. So incoming is over here. So M2 minus M1 refrigerant coming from state 6. So M2 minus M1 into H6 plus here the M1 refrigerant is coming from state 2. So plus M1 H2 equal to leaving. So here M2 refrigerant is leaving at state 3. So M2H3. So whatever the entering is equal to the leaving for flash intercooler. But we know that H5 is equal to H6. Why? Because we know that 5 to 6 throttling process. In throttling process, enthalpy will be constant. So here you can see that vertical line. So H5 is equal to H6 is equal to H7. From the diagram, you can see that. Why? Because in throttling process, enthalpy is always constant. So here you can see that, but H5 is equal to H6, or you can write H7 as well. But here I will only write H5 equal to H6. Okay. So because 5 to 6 throttling process and enthalpy will remain constant. So H5 equal to H6. H6. So what I will do, wherever there will be H6, I will replace H6 by what? H5, and now solve the equation and you will get this answer. Okay. And also, if you want to find M2 minus M1, then what you will do? You will do this kind of step. First, you will do M2 minus M1 upon M1, so you will get this kind of answer. So if you want to find M2 minus M1, so M1 will be go there here. So from this, you will then find the M2 minus M1, amount of M2 minus M1 liquid refrigerant over here. Okay, now we calculate finally COP of this system. So we know that COP is equal to capacity upon power. So capacity is equal to what? Mass flow rate into refrigerating effect. So here refrigerating effect is 7 to 1. This is the operator. So refrigerating effect will be H1 minus H7 multiply by mass flow rate of refrigerant. So here M1 mass is going into the operator. So M1 into H1 minus H7. So this is the capacity, mass flow rate into refrigerating effect upon power. Power means compressor work multiplied by mass flow rate. So 1 to 2 compressor work will be what? H2 minus H1 multiplied by what? Mass flow rate of refrigerant. So M1 H2 minus M1 plus H2 minus H1 plus second work, because here 2 compression is happening, so we have to add over here, plus 3 to 4. So H4 minus H3 multiplied by mass flow rate of refrigerant which is going into that compressor. So M2. So M2 into H4 minus H3. So this is how we can find the COP of this whole system. So I hope you will like this video. Have a nice day. Bye bye.